Finance Director Jimmy Tipping's comments before the EU committee are notable because they mark a definitive shift in Gibraltar's economic policy. Although mooted in recent weeks by Number 6, Mr Tipping told the EU Parliament that Gibraltar had resigned itself to losing access to the single market when Britain leaves the EU, and that the ROC did not expect a special status with the bloc after Brexit.
We, from a Brexit point of view, are resigned to the fact that it will be hard. Why? Because we contemplate no concessions with regards to the obtaining or otherwise of a different special status.
Exchanges have become heated since the EU's Brexit negotiating guidelines were published, effectively giving Spain a veto over a future trade deal applying to Gibraltar. Then came the EU's report on the impact of Brexit on devolved territories and Gibraltar, which concluded that, although Gibraltar could present its priorities via a joint ministerial committee, there would be no guarantee that these would not be traded off in the negotiations. And last week, an internal Spanish government report allegedly leaked to El País newspaper revealed plans to end what Madrid calls Gibraltar's unjustifiable privileges on tax. No wonder then that the inquiry in the European Parliament drew some terse exchanges. Spanish MEP Gabriel Mato referred to Gibraltar as a colony and tax haven, where the volume of cigarettes sold is such that all residents, including the monkeys, must smoke.
Pero la Unión Europea hay mucha burocracia. Allí evidentemente no. Tax ruling en 3 días está resuelto muchas veces. Estamos hablando de una importación de 55 millones de cajetillas al año. Evidentemente, lo voy a decir como broma, pero no es una broma. No solo fuman los niños, es que fuman hasta los monos. Es imposible absolutamente que ese volumen se utilice allí.
Statement on the part of the honourable member. I do regret the tone slightly, but I'll hold myself back on that particular point. I think that the points could have been made in a much more understated and diplomatic manner.
Then, more questions from Spanish MEP Ernest Urtasun about Gibraltar's future access to the single market.
Your access to the single market should not be taken for granted. And my question is very simple. In the light of the Brexit negotiations, would you be ready to significantly change and reform your aggressive tax regimes in order to secure your access to the single market?
Briefly, on Brexit and the single market, we're working on the basis that we're not going to have access to the single market. I mentioned hard Brexit before.
With up to 90% of Gibraltar's trade in services directly tied to the UK, Mr Tipping has said Gibraltar is positioning itself as the only territory in Europe with automatic access to the UK in financial services and other areas.